G'day and welcome back to Foord Off-Road. This video I'm going to continue with making the muzzbar hoops on my Hilux. This is part 2. Hopefully finish it in this video. First thing I'm going to do before I get on to making the hoops though is fill in these gaps. Cut out some cardboard, fill that in. I'm also going to fill those holes in. Cut out some cardboard, traced it onto a piece of metal. Going to chop it out and make that fit in there before I have a hoop in the way. Okay, so that's where it's going to sit. I want it to cover up all the old holes. So that's where it's going to sit. Just going to grind the paint back a bit and tack it on, and then I'll do the same for the other. So now we're on to the sides of the muzzbar lookalike hoops. I'm making the side hoops out of 32 NB black pipe, which is the size under the center hoop. And I kind of want it to have angry eyes kind of look, kind of follow the headlight a bit, go up a little bit and back down. And also want it to lean a bit forwards like the front one does. It kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes me think of like the winch truck bars and stuff. I know it's a Hilux and it's not a winch truck or anything like that, but I like the look of it. So I'm going to put a bend about a 90, just over 90 degrees I reckon, so it points down a little bit. I'll probably do like 92, about there. I've already actually marked where I'm going to put it, which is 42.5 centimeters from one end. I'll start the bend, see how it looks. .32 is a little bit easier to bend than 40. It's not as thick. So first off, now I'm going to make it the height that I think it should be. So I want just above the, not quite sure. I'm going to chop it there and see what it looks like. I reckon that's a pretty good height there. I'm just going to have to chop a bit more so it meets up better down there, but I reckon that's a pretty good height. I'll chop it so it ends flat. If you're wondering why the bar is black when 10 seconds ago in the video it was not black, that's because I'm doing this over Christmas break and nothing's open. I didn't want to drive it to and from work and around town with a rusty, dodgy looking bull bar. That's just like asking for trouble. So I just gave it a quick 5-second paint job with the with a rattle can, and then once the powder coat is open, take it there. Anyway, let's notch the end of this out and make sure that it is level, because that will matter. If we're doing a 10-degree offset notch, then it will matter if that's not flat. So I'm just going to take the end off it, and then I'm just going to do like the smallest notch I can with actually indenting the pipe a bit, and then you can always take more off. You can always take more off. You can do it 20 times if you have to get it perfect, but it's harder once you start having to put it back on. It gets a little bit more difficult. To do a 30-degree notch, you can twist this bit and also move this bit, and now that I've got that in this position I want, I've got to do offset 10 degrees. Not offset it the right way, which is going to be down, because that's the way this is going to lean forwards. So when I do the other side, I'll have to do it up. 10 degree offset. Which means I want it 10 degrees more, not snap teeth off. I'm going to notch that out and hopefully it is in the right spot. Whoops, things keep falling over in this video. I'm gonna say that's blunt. I have notched a lot of holes with this one piece. One perfectly notched piece of metal. And there nicely. Nice. It's hard because it's on a corner and it's not a perfectly circle piece of pipe. It doesn't fit absolutely perfectly, but if you put it on the front like that, perfect notch. Anyway, now I'm going to just rub some paint off here so I can mark how high I want it to sit. I reckon about there is good. I reckon that looks good. Anyway, rub some paint off there so I can mark it. So I want it. Marked it. It's going to sit like that. I'm just going to grind this bit off so I've got something to weld to. I want it to like lean forwards and kind of, that sits just behind the bullbar, and I want this to sit following this line just behind the bullbar and on an angle. Now, before I fully weld that on, so I know if it's going to look alright or not, I'm going to make a hoop for the other side. That one was a bit easy to make. Now before I fully weld it, I'm just going to back the car out, have a look from a distance, see if everything's on an angle that I like, and then everything's in a good spot. If it is, then I'm going to weld it together. I reckon that looks pretty tough. Pretty happy with how that looks. So I'm going to tack these bits on and then fully weld it. So before I fully weld those on, I've chopped the old aerial holders off the or aerial mounts off the ARB hoops. And just kind of ground them out a little bit to match the circle. I'm going to put that like that across the back of the joint, just a little bit of strength, and also obviously hold the aerial. So there we have it, one muzzbar lookalike. Kind of a muzzbar lookalike. I ended up just kind of doing my own thing, but it's along the muzzbar style. Anyway, It's not quite finished yet. I was going to get it powder coated before releasing this video. That's why there's such a massive wait in between the videos. And also I built it in January and it's March now. Anyway, before I get it powder coated, I'm gonna make some rock sliders and I'm also gonna make a rebar and I'll get the whole lot done at once. The bottom's gonna be the same color as the ute is and the hoops are gonna be black just like muzzbars are and I like that look, it just looks cool. But for now, I've just got some paint on it. I've also got some steady lights because of the cool covers. No, because everyone knows you need to have steady lights when you have a muzzbar. That's just the thing that happens. But for a 7-inch driving light, these are probably the brightest lights that I've had so far. I've always had King's ones. These ones shit all over them. Anyway, just got the aerial mounts welded on the back there, one on each side. So some specs on it. The centre bar, 29.5. Off the top of the bull bar. So is the highest point on both of those. I've got 400 mil in the middle and then two 65-degree bends. And it's got a 12-degree lean forwards. The side piece, again, both of them are 12-degree lean forwards. This one's a 91-degree bend and it's 42.5 centimeters from the end of the pipe to where the bend is. And then you do a 10-degree offset notch to kind of match up your 12-degree lean. I think that's, this is 32 NB light wall pipe and this is 40 NB light wall pipe. And I think that's it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and get out in your shed and build something.